Welcome to another edition of A Game a Day by Isaiah, presented to you by the Ask Isaiah YouTube page. I'm Isaiah Rhodes, and today's presentation will be Game 6 of the Western Conference Finals between the Phoenix Suns and Los Angeles Clippers. The Suns come in with the series lead 3-2, but the Phoenix Suns lost Game 5, 116 to 102, after a magnificent performance from Paul George. 41 points, a playoff career high for Paul George, and he got great contributions from Marcus Morris and Reggie Jackson. When you think about what the Clippers have had to overcome this playoff, they've been battle tested, falling 0-2 in each of their first three series, coming back, winning the first series in Game 7 against the Dallas Mavericks and overcoming Luka Doncic. Then they fell down 0-2 to the they fell down 0-2 to the number one seed in the West, the Utah Jazz. They were able to come back and win that series in 6 games, including coming back from a 25-point deficit at home in Game 6. 39 points from Terrence Mann helped them finish out that series. And now they have an opportunity to push this series to 7 with the opportunity to win Game 7 on Friday night. Now, for this Phoenix Suns team, the first 2 games they had to play without Chris Paul, who was in COVID protocol. And in those 2 games, we saw magnificent performance not only from Devin Booker, but also Cameron Payne. Since then, they've gone 1-2. Chris Paul is back. He's averaging 18 points per game, but he's shooting just 31% from the floor. While he has been the consummate playmaker and his assist to turnover ratios have been solid, the issue is that the Clippers are turning him into a scorer and a shooter with the shot clock winding down. He's holding the ball a bit too much, and that's playing into the Clippers' hands defensively. Now, for the Clippers, while they are down 3-2, they can hold solace in knowing that the game that they did lose, they lost it on the margins. You can go back to Game 2, which they lost with 0.9 seconds left. DeAndre Ayton caught an alley-oop pass set up from Jay Crowder, baseline out of bounds, after Paul George missed 2 free throws that would have put the Clippers up 3. So that's the game that the Clippers should have had. You can go back to Game 1. You had, again, a magnificent performance from Devin Booker, a triple-double in Game 1, a 40-point triple-double in Game 1. The Clippers lost that game by 6, 120 to 114. So on the margins, the Clippers have lost games that they felt they should have won. Both of the games that the Clippers have won, they've blown the Suns out. So when the Clippers are playing at their best, they look like the much better team. And this is without Kawhi Leonard, who has been ruled out for the rest of the Sun series. But if the Clippers do make it to the finals, Kawhi Leonard is not ruled out returning for the Clippers in the finals. Paul George Paul George has been stepping up to the plate throughout these playoffs. Without Kawhi Leonard, this would be his eighth consecutive game that he's missed in these playoffs. But I will say that the Suns do play with a renewed sense of urgency when they do lose games. They bounce back against the Lakers, going back to the first round where they were down 1-2. They won 3. They won the next 3 games in blowout fashion. And in this series, while they have been challenged, we have to remember that they have a 3-2 lead. So we're getting ready to have the tip-off starting 5 for the Suns: Chris Paul, Devin Booker, Mikal Bridges, Jay Crowder, and DeAndre Ayton. We'll get to DeAndre Ayton in a second. For the Clippers, Reggie Jackson, Patrick Beverley, Paul George, Terrence Mann, and Marcus Morris Sr. Now, the Clippers are going small because Ivica Zubac is out with a sprained MCL. He missed Game 5. And despite going small, the Suns still outscored the Clippers still outscored the Suns 58-30 in the paint. The issue that I want to speak about in regards to DeAndre Ayton is DeAndre Ayton's dominance throughout this playoffs has been second to none. He's been so efficient at the rim, especially catching alley-oops and finishing easy opportunities on offensive rebounds. He's shooting 71% from the floor. But in Game 5, he only had 10 points. He only took 5 shots, and he was not as assertive as we're used to seeing here in this playoff. So he can be the X factor that can change the trajectory of this particular series. On the first possession for the Clippers, an alley-oop is set up for Mikal Bridges going back door. He slammed it home, so the Suns take a 2-0 lead. but the Clippers come right back. Patrick Beverley, very aggressive, moving down the lane, gets a floater inside, so the game is tied at 2. Jay Crowder knocks in a 3 from the right corner, set up from Chris Paul. Jay Crowder's shooting has been very anemic in this series. Crowder known to be a 3-and-D guy on most teams he plays on. When his shot is going good, his team usually wins. So if his threes are falling, that's a barometer for success. See Crowder guarding Marcus Morris. Morris goes to Paul George in the left corner. George trying to attack DeAndre Ayton off the dribble, goes into the lane, but wasn't able to get the shot off, so that's a turnover for the Clippers. Shot clock violation. You can look at Chris Paul looking to set up Bridges on the right wing, goes back to Paul. Back to Bridges. Bridges thought about a 3 good closeout from Reggie Jackson. Devin Booker at the rim. He misses the layup. Good contest there for Marcus Morris. Looks like he got hit in the nose a little bit. But he's running back, takes a screen, or sets a screen for Paul George, gets the assist from Paul, shoots the 3, and he misses. Now, Marcus Morris in Game 5 came out guns blazing. He only missed 2 shots in the first half, was 8 of 10 in the first half. Finished the game 9 of 16. But again, his aggressiveness to start and efficiency at the start really set the tone for this Clippers team to go on and dominate down the stretch. Reggie Jackson attacking Devin Booker, looking to kick out to the left wing, works it to man, back to Morris, left corner 3, wide open, he misses it. Rebounded by DeAndre Ayton. Ayton's last game here in LA, he had 20 rebounds, 19 points and 20 rebounds. His rebound outlet pass to Devin Booker sets up an easy opportunity for Booker, so Booker finishes the layup, and the Suns are up 7-2. Devin Booker over the last 3 games shooting 33%, so he's looking to get back into his rhythm. A lot of that can be traced back to Game 2, where while he didn't shoot well in Game 2, he did break his nose off of a headbutt from Patrick Beverley. It wasn't intentional, but after Game 2, Booker had played with a face mask for Game 3, 4, and 5, and he hasn't shot well. Patrick Beverley with another basket, so Suns up 7-4. Chris Paul trying to attack Beverley, has it blocked. Rebounded by Paul George. George pushing the pace, looking to get inside over Jay Crowder. The layup is good. So both teams going back and forth, responding to every punch. It's a 1-point game. Suns up 7-6. Booker at the top of the key, looking to move downhill, working the right sideline, but he's called for a travel. He tried to set up a pump fake, but ended up moving his feet. You look at this block from Patrick Beverley. Great defense on the back end as Paul tried to seal him off with his butt, but he was able to work around that, and Beverley got the block. So Clippers looking to take the lead. Paul George, another turnover. Outside of the brilliance from Paul with the 41 points in Game 5, including 31 in the second half, Paul George did have 6 turnovers. So while he has been more prolific and has been utilized as a primary facilitator for this team, he's been having issues with high turnovers. In response, Patrick Beverley comes back, knocks in a 3. So the game is tied at 9. Chris Paul, 3-point shot, top of the key, he knocks it down. So Suns up 12-9. Mikal Bridges guarding Paul George. Over to Reggie Jackson. They work it to that left corner. 3-point shot for Morris, falls short. Rebounded by Bridges. So while Morris had an exceptional Game 5, he's starting Game 6 very cold. Suns up 12-9 with possession. Chris Paul going against Paul George. Gets it to Jay Crowder. 7 on the shot clock. This is where Chris Paul has struggled here in this series. 3-point shot. He rattles it in. So that's Chris Paul's second 3 so far. And Coach Ty Lue calls a timeout for the Clippers, trailing by 6. Suns up 15-9, 6:44 to go here in the first. Chris Paul and the Suns looking to close out this game and reach their third finals in NBA history with an opportunity to win their first NBA championship in franchise history. Welcome back to A Game a Day by Isaiah, presented to you by the Ask Isaiah YouTube page. I'm Isaiah Rhodes. This is Game 6 of the Western Conference Finals between the Phoenix Suns and Los Angeles Clippers. The Suns lead 15-9 out of that timeout called by Ty Lue. Reggie Jackson able to get inside and finish at the rim with the left hand. So it's a 4-point game. Reggie Jackson coming off another spectacular playoff performance with 23 points, 8 of 14 from the floor, 4 of 7 from 3. With Kawhi Leonard being out over the last 8 games, Reggie Jackson has had to step up offensively and be the second option for the Clippers, especially down the stretch in the clutch, making shots as the shot clock is winding down. And while Kawhi was there, he also played the third option role really, really well. Suns can't score in response, and then Marcus Morris knocks down a mid-range jump shot from the left corner. So it's 15-13. Then Devin Booker called for an offensive foul. Stepping in for the charge was Patrick Beverley. So it's a turnover for the Suns. Possession goes back to the Clippers. Devin Booker trying to get inside, utilize the Euro step and kick to the left corner. But again, Reggie Jackson there to take the charge. Reggie Jackson looking to attack, has it deflected by Bridges. Fadeaway jumper from Reggie Jackson. No good. Suns come back up by 2, 15-13. Chris Paul looking to set up Ayton inside. Good defense from Paul George with the deflection, but Ayton is there to pick up the basketball and get a floater. So 17-13, Suns lead. We approach 5 minutes to go here in the first. Paul George looking to attack Devin Booker. Floater off the right baseline, falls in. So it's 17-15. Back and forth we go. Suns up 2. Jay Crowder takes a screen from Ayton. Straightaway 3 at the top of the key. He misses it off the back rim. Patrick Beverley looking to attack down the lane. Kicks it out to Morris. Back to George. 12 on the shot clock. Guarded by Bridges. Right wing. Step back 3 from Paul George. Thought it was foul. No call. Terrence Mann with the offensive rebound comes skying in. And Mann wasn't quite able to get the pass out. So it'll be a jump ball as Devin Booker there to tie him up. 4:20 to go here in the first quarter. We look at the closeout from Bridges, no call on the foul. And then we see Terrence Mann come down with a tough rebound around 4 different Suns. So this jump ball will be between Terrence Mann and Devin Booker. Booker wins the tip. Cameron Payne into the game for the Suns. In the first 2 games without Chris Paul, Cameron Payne averaged 20 points per game and 9 assists. Suns run offense, beautifully set up for Ayton inside as Mikal Bridges flashed down the lane, drew 2 defenders and dumped it right off to Ayton at the front of the rim. Easy layup. So the Suns up 19-15. DeAndre Ayton with 6 points, 3 of 4 from the field. But Reggie Jackson responds with the 3 at the top of the key. So it's 19-18. DeAndre Ayton at the top of the key, dribble handoff to Cameron Payne, guarded by Marcus Morris. 8 on the shot clock. Payne goes inside to Ayton. Ayton wasn't quite aware of the weak side. Good defense from Reggie Jackson to come on the weak side, get the deflection, and force a Clippers steal. .338 to go here in the first. Suns up 19-18. Clippers looking to take the lead. Reggie Jackson starting to come on strong here late in the first quarter. Morris over to Paul George. George at the top of the key, guarded by Devin Booker. spins inside. What a pass to Nicholas Batum, who just entered the game. So the Clippers take their first lead of the game, 20-19, 3:18 to go here in the first. Cameron Payne over to Devin Booker. Booker takes the double team as Morris flashes out, but a step back from Devin Booker over Reggie Jackson is good. So now we have a seesaw game as the Clippers had the lead last possession. Now the Suns take it back, 21-20. Pass inside to Patrick Beverly, sets up Nicholas Batum, left corner three, no good. Rebounded by Ayton. Ayton looks to set up the screen for Cameron Payne. Devin Booker on the right wing looking to set up Ayton, guarded by Paul George. He works the right baseline and able to spin off George and finish the reverse. So Suns open up a 3-point lead, and DeAndre Ayton coming on strong offensively here. Very efficient, very aggressive. Patrick Beverly with a great off-the-dribble move against Devin Booker, but it was too good for his skill set as he couldn't finish the layup, but the crossover move was exceptional as he was able to create separation against Booker, but again, couldn't finish the reverse at the rim. Suns up 23-20. We got a stoppage in play. 2:23 to go here in the first. This is the Game of the Day by Isaiah, presented to you by the Ask Isaiah YouTube page. This is Game 6 of the Western Conference Finals. If the Suns win, they advance to the NBA Finals. If the Clippers win, they survive for another Game 7, which will be Friday night, winner take all. Stay tuned for more. Welcome back to another edition of A Game of the Day by Isaiah, presented to you by the Ask Isaiah YouTube page. As the shot clock is winding down, Reggie Jackson takes a three that would have tied the game at 23, but he misses it, rebounded by Jay Crowder. So Suns up 3 with possession. So far here in the first, we look at DeAndre Ayton's ability to just really dominate in the paint. He's been the difference right now. 8 points on 4 or 5 from the floor. As we look at this Cameron Payne attempt to finish with the left hand at the rim. Marcus Morris blocks it with the right hand. Devin Booker, 10 on the shot clock. Trying to get a fadeaway over Morris and Batum. No good on that jumper. Rebounded by Reggie Jackson. Next is Batum. Back to, DeMarcus Cousins, who gets his first action of the game. Cousins had an exceptional game in Game 5, including 11 points, really providing a presence inside, but more than anything, his defense was a difference in my opinion. He was able to defend on the perimeter, get out and switch against tough guards like Chris Paul and Devin Booker, and really just be very, very active. Cameron Payne knocks in a 3. That gives the Suns 4 3-pointers as a team, 4 of 6 from the floor. Luke Kennard takes a 3 for the Clippers. He misses it off the back rim. Right now, the Clippers shooting 2 of 10 from 3. Devin Booker, mid-range jump shot, right wing, good. So Suns open up an 8-point lead with 1 minute to go here in the first quarter. Suns on a 9-0 run over the last 2 minutes and 25 seconds. DeMarcus Cousins, straightaway 3, set up by Reggie Jackson. Good 3 from DeMarcus Cousins. Good setup there from Reggie Jackson, running the pick and pop with DeMarcus Cousins. So under a minute to go, Suns up by 5, 28-23. Payne looking to work the left wing, goes to Devin Booker. Straightaway 3 from Booker. Good. So Devin Booker picking it up offensively here for the Suns. 5 of 8 from the floor with 12 points in the first quarter. But a 3-point shot from Reggie Jackson gets 3 of those points back, so it's 31-26. Back and forth we go. Under 30 seconds to go. 24 seconds in the first quarter. It's about an 8-second differential between shot clock and game clock. Payne at the top of the key, guarded by Jackson. Looking to work the left wing. Oh, what a beautiful play. As Cameron Payne took the screen from Ayton, Ayton flashed straight to the rim. Payne threw it to Booker on the right wing. Devin Booker threw the alley to Ayton at the rim. Easy layup. Suns up 7, 33-26, 5.7 to go. In the first quarter, we got a foul against the Suns. Again, what a beautiful play set up by the Suns. Ayton gets another opportunity at the rim. The pass wasn't quite caught as clean as it should have been, but Ayton was able to guide it in. Again, a great player around the rim. Ayton so far 5 of 6 from the floor, 10 points in 12 minutes. Reggie Jackson trying to get a shot up for the Clippers at the rim. It's blocked by Aiden with 1 second left. It'll be baseline out of bounds, Clippers possession. Inbounding for the Clippers will be Nicholas Batum. Batum trying to get it to Morris in the left corner. Goes to Cousins. Cousins fading away. Whoa! As DeMarcus Cousins is coming in off the bench and providing that spark. Knocks in the three off the glass with 1 second left. It's a 4-point game. Suns up 33-29. This is a Game of the Day by Zay, presented to you by the Ask Isaiah YouTube page. Stay tuned for more, as this is Game 6 of the Western Conference Finals. The Suns win, and they advance to the finals. If the Clippers win, they survive and get to a Game 7, which will be Friday night. Stay tuned for more. Welcome back to another edition of A Game of the Day by Zay, presented to you by the Ask Isaiah YouTube page. We are in the second quarter of the Western Conference Finals between the Clippers and Suns. Suns lead 33-29. Possession to start this second goes to the Clippers, and DeMarcus Cousins able to draw a foul from the left block. He'll be going to the free throw line for 2. I want to make a quick correction. As I said, Devin Booker was 5 of 8 from the floor with 12 points. He actually is 4 of 7 from the floor with 9 points. I saw he had 9 points, but I thought that they didn't add the 3 points that he had as he made that 3, but they did add as he made the 3. I just missed it. So he has 9 points, 4 of 7 from the floor. Suns up now 33-30 as DeMarcus Cousins now has 8 points. DeMarcus again has provided a spark off the bench to go back to his Game 5 where he had 11. He was all over the floor, both offensively and defensively. Cameron Payne responds with a floater of his own to put the Suns up by 4. Now in that first quarter, the Suns shot 14 of 22 and the Clippers shot 12 of 24. So both teams shooting efficient in this must-win game on both sides. DeMarcus Cousins on the left block, on the right block, goes at Dario Saric, misses the layup. But who's there for the putback? Terrence Mann. Terrence Mann, utility guy for the Clippers. He's utilized that guard. He's very versatile defensively, could defend multiple positions. And at the same time, he's very low maintenance, but finds ways to impact the game. Whether he has 39 like he did in Game 6 against the Jazz, or he has 12. Dario Saric working the pick and pop with Cameron Payne. Saric knocks in the 3 from the top of the key, set up by Cameron Payne. So Suns back up by 5. Now the 3-point shot for the Suns has been on all night. You look at their 3-point shooting so far. They already have 6 3-pointers. They're 6 of 8 from 3, while the Clippers actually have turned it around recently. They're now 5 of 13. They started 2 of 10, but they've turned it around. We look at this Cameron Payne setup with Dario Saric, able to work off the dribble against Paul George. He gets down the lane and kicks it right out to Dario Saric to knock in the 3. DeMarcus Cousins fouled in the paint. He'll go to the free throw line for 2. So DeMarcus, early in this game, playing just 5 minutes so far, he already has 9 points now, 10 points. And it is 38-35, Clippers down 3. DeMarcus 2 of 4 from the floor. Mid-range jumper for Chris Paul. His patented mid-range puts the Suns up by 5, 40-35. Mid-range jumper for Paul George. Rims out, rebounded by Abdul Nader. So this lineup on the floor for the Suns is mostly the second unit plus Chris Paul. 3-point shot for Saric. Good. So this time, Chris Paul working downhill, able to get the pick and pop set up for Saric. Now Suns 7 of 9 from the field. Paul George looking to attack. He's trying to draw a foul. No call there. He's looking for the contact. It wasn't a call. He tried to kick it out to Terrence Mann, but Mann wasn't quite ready for the pass. So there'll be another Clippers turnover. We look at the turnovers for both teams right now. The Clippers have 3 turnovers. Suns have 3 turnovers. Look at Chris Paul with the mismatch once again off the mid-range. Good defense from DeMarcus Cousins, but the miss was so bad off the back rim and went straight to Chris Paul on the perimeter. Cameron Payne attacks, gets a layup at the rim using the left hand. Suns up by 10, 45-35, 9:14 to go here in the first half. Stay tuned for more. Suns looking to finish out this series and advance to their third NBA Finals in NBA history. They have yet to win it. So, depending on who wins that Atlanta Hawks or Milwaukee Bucks series, the Suns will be waiting if they close out this game. Stay tuned for more. Welcome back to A Game a Day by Zay, presented to you by the Ask Isaiah YouTube page. We approach 9 minutes to go here in the first half. Suns up by 10, 45-35. They've been on a 7-0 run over the last minute and 22 seconds. Marcus Morris looking to go off the dribble against Mikal Bridges, draws a foul. He'll be going to the free throw line for 2. Now this is a Suns team who's shooting lights out from 3, 7 of 9 from the field. 7 of 9 from 3. They've only missed 9 shots so far overall. They're shooting 68% as a team, and they've been able to get assists early. They have 11 assists on 19 made field goals. So they're getting that balance and they're getting the ball movement necessary to build this 10-point lead. Morris misses the first free throw. Morris in the first half so far, 1 of 4 from the floor, 0 of 3 from 3. That's a stark contrast from what we saw in the first half of Game 5. He was 8 of 10 from the field and had 20 points in that first half. So he goes 1 of 2 at the free throw line, makes the second. Suns up by 9 with possession. Mikal Bridges, mid-range jump shot. Gets separation from Patrick Beverley, couldn't knock it down. Strong rebound from Morris. Finds Paul George. George cut off on the right wing by Torrey Craig. Out to Patrick Beverley. Beverley is going to find George, this time in the post against Bridges. Good defense from Craig on the double team. He kicks out to Mann. Terrence Mann couldn't knock in the 3. Offensive rebound is there for Paul George. Good effort on the glass from Nicholas Batum to tip it out to George. And George attacks the basket, right side of the lane, finishes a layup at the rim. Dario Saric fakes on Morris, has it blocked, but Morris is called for the foul. It's a good aggressive move from Dario Saric. Saric much more aggressive here in Game 6 compared to Game 5. Saric already 2 of 2 from the floor, 6 points, 2 of them threes, and now looking to go to the free throw line for 2. Saric has been on multiple teams in his career, going back to Minnesota and Philadelphia. This is the furthest he's ever gone in the postseason. He misses the first free throw. We look at free throw shooting for both teams. This is actually the first free throw the Suns have taken all game. In the series, Saric averaging 4 points a game and 11 minutes per game. Already, again, in 4 minutes, he's already had 7 points as he makes the second free throw. He goes 1 of 2. Suns up by 8, 46-38. 8 minutes to go here in the first half. Suns have led for most of the way. Clippers had a small lead. Morris, mid-range jump shot over Chris Paul. No problem. He knocks it down. Now Terrence Mann guarding Chris Paul. This is the versatility I'm talking about with Mann. Mann 6'6". We can guard 1 through 3, and depending on the size of the power forward, sometimes the power forward. Good defense from Patrick Beverley in a post against Dario Saric. And we look at an alley-oop setup from Morris to Nicholas Batum. Batum couldn't finish the layup. That would have been a golden opportunity for the Clippers to inch closer. Then they give up a 3 from Torrey Craig. He couldn't knock down the 3 from the right wing. It's a 6-point game, 46-40, 7:17 to go here in the first half. We look at the defense from Patrick Beverley against Dario Saric. Beverley only 6'2". Dario Saric is 6'8", 6'9". But the scrappiness of Beverley, able to strip it from Dario Saric, the Clippers were able to get out and run, but Batum couldn't finish that layup. So 46-40, Clippers trail, trying to inch closer. Patrick Beverley working the right baseline, draws a foul against Craig. So Patrick Beverley's energy has provided a spark. That's really what he is, a spark plug, scrappy type of player. Beverley here in 12 minutes, 3 of 4 from the floor. He's knocked down 1 3. He has a rebound, 2 assists, 1 steal, and a block. Look at Beverley known to be that scrappy guy. That's how he's worked his way into the NBA and established a career for himself coming from overseas. Marcus Morris stepping into the groove. He knocks in a 3 from the left wing. So now it's a 3-point game, 46-43. CP3, crossover dribble, left to right, mid-range jump shot over man, perfect. So 48-43, Chris Paul's got it going here in his first half. 3 of 6 from the floor, 10 points. Patrick Beverley, crossover dribble, right to left. Against Chris Paul, strong layup, and he lets Chris Paul know about it. Three-point shot. Jay Crowder can't get it to fall from that left corner. And we got a foul against Crowder as he runs over Nicholas Batum. You see Patrick Beverley imploring the crowd to pick it up here. Game 6. Season on the line for the Clippers. They're trying to get to their first NBA Finals in franchise history. This is actually their first conference finals in franchise history. Look at the crossover. Right to left, attacking the lane. He finishes the layup not only over Chris Paul, but also Jay Crowder. So right now, the delay in play is the refs looking over this Jay Crowder foul. They're trying to see if that contact was excessive. There's been a number of flagrant fouls in this series, multiple in Game 5. One against Jay Crowder, closing out on Paul George, and then we had a flagrant foul against Patrick Beverley, undercutting Chris Paul. So with 6:15 to go, Clippers have possession and momentum. As they review this, we'll be back with more. This is the Game of the Day by Zay, presented to you by the Ask Isaiah YouTube page. Again, they're reviewing this foul against Jay Crowder. It looks as if running back up the floor, Crowder, displeased with not getting contact on the closeout from Batum, trips Batum intentionally. So we'll see what they call here. All right, so we don't have to go. They come to the conclusion. Okay, it's a foul. It's not flagrant though. So they say it's a flagrant foul. Nothing malicious, but because Phoenix is in the penalty, we'll see Batum go to the free throw line for 2. So Batum goes to the free throw line here in the playoffs, shooting 49% from the floor, averaging 8 points per game for this Clipper team. Again, another 3-and-D guy who provides length. He can stretch the floor depending on the matchup. If they go small, he can play power forward. And again, he's another low-maintenance guy, able to play a role. This Clippers team has a lot of headliners. Obviously, Kawhi Leonard, who's not playing in his 8th consecutive game. You have Paul George, another perimeter go-to superstar in this league. So you have to have players around those superstars that can get things done in a low-maintenance fashion. Nicholas Batum is one of those guys. Chris Paul misses a 3. Nicholas Batum gets the rebound. Going in the post is Morris against Chris Paul. He wasn't quite able to turn that corner for the layup, but he goes out in the post, takes the double team. Jay Crowder closing out. Crowder able to get a rebound off of a Patrick Beverley missed 3 in the right corner. Crowder's fouled by Terrence Mann. 5:39 to go here in the in the first half. This is game 6 of the Western Conference Finals. Clippers trailing 3-2, looking to extend this series to 7. This will be their second 7-game series here in these playoffs. They've already defeated the Dallas Mavericks in 7 games despite falling down 0-2. And then they fell down 0-2 to the number 1 seed Utah Jazz. Were able to come back in that series, winning the next 4 games and coming back from a 25-point deficit at home. So we look at this foul from Patrick Beverley. Patrick Beverley playing aggressive, nothing malicious there, just very physical. Devin Booker attacks Patrick Beverley straight down the lane, finishes with the right hand slam. So Suns desperately needed that to stop the bleeding. They're up 3. But again, momentum was shifting to the Clippers. Let's see if that can turn the tide for the Suns. We approach 5 minutes to play. Reggie Jackson back into the game, guarded by Devin Booker. Right to left crossover, draws a foul, and one. Big basket for Reggie Jackson. And the Clippers have an opportunity to tie the game. If you look at the one-on-one crossover dribble, right to left. Reggie Jackson able to take the contact on the left side, but then work his way back to that right hand and finish. That's a good competitive response because prior to, Devin Booker got an attack at the basket, right hand slam, going right at Patrick Beverley. Jackson's free throw was good, so now it's a tie game. Tied at 50. So the Clippers have gone on a 15-5 run. They were just down by 10. Now the game is tied. Jay Crowder looking to draw a foul. Isn't able to get the foul. Rebounded by DeAndre Ayton. Kicks it out to Jay Crowder in that right corner. So while he missed the floater inside, DeAndre Ayton there on the glass to get it to him for a 3 in the right corner. 53-50. Suns lead. Paul George, guarded by Booker. 10 on the shot clock. Looking to get inside to draw the foul. No call. Hits the back rim. Rebounded by Payne. Cameron Payne surveying the floor. Slows down. Takes the screen from Ayton. Attacks. Has to be stopped just a bit. They reset. Takes the 3 from the right wing. It falls short. Rebounded by Jackson. Paul George on the right wing. Gets it to Patrick Beverley. Thought about a 3. Attacks for the layup. Can't finish, but he'll go to the free throw line for 2. Patrick Beverley, very, very aggressive here in this game 6. Again, providing that energy, providing that attack. 4 for 6 from the floor. He's already taken 2 threes. He'll go to the free throw line for 2. If you look at the replay, you can see Jay Crowder try to remain vertical, but because of the way Patrick Beverley contorted his body to initiate the contact, it looks as if Jay Crowder is going down on him, but he's trying to stay vertical. They call a foul on Jay, so Patrick Beverley goes to the free throw line for 2. He makes the first. If we look at his plus minus through the first game, he was -5. In game 2 through 6, Patrick Beverley, while on the court, his team is plus 21. Look at Devin Booker, mid-range jump shot. Tough shot. He draws the foul. And that's the type of skill that Devin Booker has. Able to get to any spot he wants on the floor. His ability to dribble allows for him to, again, just manipulate any space he wants, really. He's able to move off the ball. And his ability to run off screens, great screen set up by Ayton. It gets Booker to the left wing. But then because of his dribble, able to cross over to the right wing and fade away while taking contact, puts the Suns up by 4, 56-52. Booker is 6 of 9 from the floor, 14 points. Paul George coming off of that 41-point performance in game 5 has been relatively quiet. Suns as a team, the Clippers as a team are playing very, very solid. Look at a 24-second violation though, as the Clippers weren't quite able to get anything clean. Terrence Mann tried to save that Reggie Jackson air ball and put it on the rim, but it was too late. Paul George tonight, 3 of 7. Look at this replay. A missed shot by Devin Booker was an easy rebound for Paul George, but he couldn't quite corral it. And as it was going out of bounds, Patrick Beverley tried to save it, but couldn't quite do so. So it's 14 on the shot clock, 3:19 to go here in the first half. Jay Crowder, great setup there from Cameron Payne. Jay Crowder split to the rim, and the pass was right there for him to go straight up for that layup. So Suns up by 6, 58-52. So the Suns are on an 8-2 run. Patrick Beverley at the rim. Can't finish the layup. Good contest there by Torrey Craig. Devin Booker, straightaway 3. Misses it off the back rim. Craig comes away with the rebound, but we got a foul. Okay, so there's a stoppage in play. 2:51 to go. It's a timeout on the floor. We'll be back with more. Suns up by 6, 58-52. They're on an 8-2 run. 2:51 to go here in the first half. This is Game 6 of the Western Conference Finals. If the Suns win, they advance to the NBA Finals. If the Clippers win, they survive for another day, as we'll have Game 7 on Friday. Stay tuned for more. This is a Game of Day by Zay, presented to you by the Ask Isaiah YouTube page. Stay tuned for more. Welcome back to a Game of Day by Zay, presented to you by the Ask Isaiah YouTube page. Jay Crowder is going to the free throw line for 2. Prior to that stoppage, he got Lowbridge going for the rebound, so they called the foul. And Crowder makes both, so Suns up 8, 60-52. Reggie Jackson, guarded by Cameron Payne, gets it to Morris. Morris picked it up at the early part of the second quarter, and he continues to shoot in rhythm now. He has 10 points, 4 of 7 from the floor. 60-54, Suns lead. Cameron Payne at the rim, misses a layup. Fighting for that rebound. It should be Clippers basketball, but they say it will go to the Suns. We look at the replay. Payne missed the layup. And as Ayton is there, Luke Kennard is also going for the rebound, but it looks like it goes off of Ayton's left hand. But again, they say possession will stay with the Suns. 8 on the shot clock. Suns up by 6. Jay Crowder, 3-point shot from the right wing, good. So Jay Crowder's picking up his offense here. 63-54. Jay Crowder with 13 points, 3 of 5 from 3. Marcus Morris responds in his own right. He knocks in another 3. So it's 63-57, under 2 to go here in the first half. Morris now 13 points, 5 of 8 from the floor, 2 of 5 from 3. Cameron Payne at the rim, tries to get a layup. Can't get it to fall. Clippers on the run. Luke Kennard finds Paul George. George kicks it to Morris. Left corner 3, Reggie Jackson hits the top of the backboard. Look at Devin Booker, right sideline. Works to the right baseline, and he shoots it. A beautiful shot, but it just rims out. Fighting for that offensive rebound is DeAndre Ayton, and he's fouled by Patrick Beverley to prevent the slam. Patrick Beverley came from the weak side and fouled him. It looks as if Ayton is trying to sell a call here. Good, hard, tough playoff foul. We'll look at the replay as both teams fighting for that rebound. Ayton at the rim picked up the basketball and came, and you can see the foul from Patrick Beverly. Now, because Aiden is laying on the floor, they're going to review this to see if it's a flagrant foul. It's not a flagrant foul. He went dead for the ball. And you can see Aiden, again, laying on the ground, trying to sell a call. They'll review this, but me personally, I don't think this is a flagrant foul. We'll be back with more. This is a Game of Day by Zay, presented to you by the Ask Isaiah YouTube page. Stay tuned for more. Welcome back. As they deemed the foul by Patrick Beverly on DeAndre Ayton a common foul, there was a windup, but again, Patrick Beverly did get most of the ball. There was a little contact with his head, but it wasn't emphatic or intentional. So Ayton goes to the free throw line for 2. He misses both. So the Clippers, trailing by 6, they get it to Paul George. George 3 of 6 from the floor, only 6 points tonight. Skip pass it over to Reggie Jackson. Right wing 3. He misses it short. Rebounded by Jay Crowder. Under a minute to play, Suns up 6. Back and forth we've gone. Both teams staying within arm's length of each other. 35 seconds left. Chris Paul with the basketball. Gives it to Devin Booker. 6 on the shot clock. Booker, right wing 3. Misses it off the back rim. Fighting for the rebound. Aiden comes away with it. Gets it to Booker. Booker finds Jay Crowder. Steps into a 3. Big 3, Jay Crowder. So it's a 9-point game. Jay Crowder now with 16 points. Big baskets from Crowder. Nine-point game, 66-57. 1 second differential between shot clock and game clock. 7 seconds left. Paul George, guarded by Tony Craig. Step back 3. Misses it. Rebounded by Aiden, and we'll go into the second half with the Suns up 9. They're 2 quarters away from their 3rd NBA Finals in franchise history, looking to knock off this Los Angeles Clippers team. Stay tuned for more. This is a Game of Day by Zay, presented to you by the Ask Isaiah YouTube page. Again, Suns up 9, 66-57 over the Los Angeles Clippers. This is Game 6. Welcome back to another edition of the Game of Day by Zay, presented to you by the Ask Isaiah YouTube page. This is the second half of the Western Conference Finals Game 6 between the Phoenix Suns and Los Angeles Clippers. If the Suns finish this game out, they will go to the NBA Finals. The Clippers are trying to extend this series to Friday for a series deciding Game 7. Let's see how the Clippers respond. Being down by 9, Paul George draws a foul on DeAndre Ayton. George only 3 of 8 in the first half. This is on the heels of a spectacular Game 5 on the road. 41 points, including 20 in the second half. Now, in that first half of Game 5, he only had 11. Let's see if George can turn it up here with the Clippers trailing by 9. George in the left corner, guarded by Bridges. 6 on the shot clock. Pulls up for the jump shot, draws a foul. Now, Bridges is saying he got all ball. Let's look at the replay. Bridges did get all ball. So, Monty Williams trusts Mikal Bridges. Look at the replay. Bridges did get ball, but they might call the foul based on if he gave him room to land. Let's see that. Second half just started. 11:37 to go. Bridges asked for a challenge. Monty Williams trusts in his player. He called the challenge. We'll be back with more. This is the Game of Day by Zay, presented to you by the Ask Isaiah YouTube page. Welcome back to a Game of Day by Zay, presented to you by the Ask Isaiah YouTube page. The challenge by Monty Williams unsuccessful. George goes to the free throw line for 2, goes 1 for 2 at the line. Suns with the basketball. Bridges on that right wing, guarded by Paul George. They're working around the Devin Booker on the left wing. Takes a floater, rims out, rebounded by Morris. He gets it to George. George gets it ahead to Reggie Jackson. Jackson working the left wing, attacks Chris Paul, draws a foul. He goes to the line for 2. Now that's the issue, I would say, with challenging too early in the game, because later in the game, especially in games like this where it's very close, you definitely want to utilize your challenge if need be, and have your timeouts. But when you lose a challenge, not only is the call either upheld or overturned, but you lose the timeout if it's wrong. So Reggie Jackson goes to the free throw line for 2. He makes the first. Now again, Reggie Jackson has been spectacular for this Clippers team, especially over the last 8 games without Kawhi Leonard. Reggie Jackson tonight only 4 for 10, but he already has 12 points, and he's looking to build on that with the second free throw. 3-point shot for Jay Crowder there. Instead, he goes back to the top of the key. A 3-point shot for Devin Booker is missed. Rebounded by Patrick Beverly, but he wasn't quite able to handle the ball on the right sideline. So it's a turnover for the Clippers. That would have been an opportunity to get an easy basket. But back to Reggie Jackson. When you look at what he's been doing throughout these playoffs. In 18 games so far, this is his 19th. He's playing 33 minutes a game. He's averaging 18 points per game in the playoffs. Now, if you look at his points per game during the regular season, he's averaging 11 points per game. So his points have increased. And as I've said, he's played that third option really, really well for the Clippers while Kawhi has been here. And with Kawhi out, he's been the primary second option for this Clippers team. Morris, what a move in the post against DeAndre Ayton. Ayton was prepared for that fadeaway across the lane, and Morris was able to sweep through right under his arm to get an easy layup at the rim. Great footwork there for Morris. 15 points, 6 of 9 from the floor. Jay Crowder takes a 3 from the right wing, knocks it down. And Jay Crowder looks at the crowd. Crowder with 19 points here in Game 6. Crowder 6 of 9 from the floor in his own right, 5 of 7 from 3. We look at Jay Crowder, set up beautifully by Mikal Bridges. And Paul George closed out a bit too late there. And Crowder looks right at the crowd after knocking down that 3. PG going to the line. He makes the first. He went 7 of 7 from the free throw line in Game 5. We look at this series, Jay Crowder shooting 27% from 3, only averaging 6 points per game. Tonight, 19 points, and he's 5 of 7 from 3. Both free throws good for Paul George. It's a 7-point game. 9:47 to go here in the third quarter. Terrence Mann guarding Chris Paul. Paul in the post against Ayton. Kicks it to Bridges. Right corner 3. Air ball. Rebounded by PG. Paul George looking to post. Looking to hit the right wing. On the perimeter. Takes the screen from Reggie Jackson. Goes cross court over to Patrick Beverly. Beverly skip pass over to Terrence Mann. Left corner. Mann attacking Ayton off the glass. The layup is no good. Ayton gets the rebound. Chris Paul looking to push. Finds Jay Crowder under the rim. Then tries to skip pass it to the left corner for Bridges. And Bridges gets it in the paint for DeAndre Ayton. Reggie Jackson fouls Ayton. The interesting fact of the game here, the Clippers have only committed 7 fouls all game. That's the 7th foul they've committed in the entire game. Yet they're still down by 7. So spectacular shooting for the Suns has allowed for them to overcome the fact that they haven't gone to the free throw line as much, or even put the Clippers in foul trouble. Look at Marcus Morris. In that left corner, goes to Terrence Mann for 3 on the left wing. He misses it. Rebounded by Ayton. Suns up by 9, 73-64. Chris Paul, mid-range jump shot over Morris, no good. Rebounded by Paul George. George surveying the floor, excuse me. They go to Morris in the post. Get it over the man in that left corner. Man attacking Jay Crowder, and Crowder's called for the foul. Terrence Mann very aggressive in that left corner. We look at Jay Crowder picking up that foul. Crowder playing really, really well offensively. Now has to go to the bench. That's his fourth foul. 19 points in 23 minutes for Crowder, and he got out of a shooting slump. Now he has to sit down. Man misses the free throw. And what Crowder's most frustrated about is not more so about the foul, but where the help was at. As he lets a man get by him, he's expecting the help to be there to turn man away from the rim, but Aiden wasn't where he needed to be, and man be going to the free throw line now. He missed the first in the series, 9 points per game, 53%. He makes the second. Look at the free throw shooting so far in this game. Suns 4 of 7, Clippers 16 of 19. But the Suns, again, their shooting overall has just been spectacular. Bridges. And one. Clippers were looking for the charge. Bridges able to finish. He'll be going to the free throw line looking to put the Suns up 11. Reggie Jackson's looking for the charge. As Reggie Jackson was falling, okay, he's falling to the ground before the contact happens where it would be a charge. But even if they didn't call the foul, Paul George wouldn't have been able to rip the ball out of Bridges' hands for that steal. So Bridges was able to get the ball up on the rim, and it rolled right in. So he makes the free throw. It's an 11-point game. This is the Suns' largest lead of the night at 11, 76-65. Now, the last time the Suns were up 10, 45-35, the Clippers went on a 15-5 run. Can they respond with a run of their own? Paul George comes back in the paint, working from that left block, fades into the lane, gets a fadeaway to fall. So it's a 9-point game now. Devin Booker trying to move off the ball against Patrick Beverly. Chris Paul, guarded by Marcus Morris, 10 on the shot clock. He goes to Aiden inside. Aiden with the floater, can't get it to fall. Big offensive rebound from Craig. They're working around the perimeter to Chris Paul. Floater inside for Chris Paul. It rolls right in. So 14 points for Chris Paul. He's working his way out of his shooting slump, shooting 31% for the series. Missed 3 from Marcus Morris. Strong rebound from Devin Booker. Booker at the top of the key. Right to left crossover. And Booker slams it home. We get a timeout. It's a 13-point game. Suns up 80-67. 6:58 to go here in the third. Stronger aggressive attack from Devin Booker. Right to left crossover. He attacks downhill and slams it home with the right hand. Good aggressive attack from Devin Booker. We'll be back with more. This is the Game of Day by Zay, presented to you by the Ask Isaiah YouTube page. This is game 6. The Suns look to put the Clippers on the brink. Welcome back to a Game of Day by Zay, presented to you by the Ask Isaiah YouTube page. With 6:40 to go here in the third quarter, the Suns have opened up their largest lead of the game, 80-67. The Suns are 1 game away from the NBA Finals. This Clippers team is trying to extend this series to a Game 7 on Friday night. Now, they will have to go on the road to Phoenix, but the Clippers have shown that they have been able to win in Phoenix as they won Game 5 in Phoenix. Marcus Morris, 15 points tonight, 6 of 10 from the floor. He started 1 of 4, but he turned it around, and he's really been helping this Clippers team offensively. Look at Morris go 1 of 2 at the free throw line, rebounded by Craig. Craig is in the game a lot earlier than usual because of Jay Crowder, who had 19 points, but Crowder has 4 fouls, so he has to sit on the bench. Suns still able to run offensively as Mikal Bridges flashes down the lane, and he's found perfectly by Chris Paul. Bridges finishes at the rim. Bridges with 5 points here in this third quarter. Reggie Jackson, skip pass over to Morris. Left wing, 7 on the shot clock. Morris pulls up for the jump shot over 8, knocks it down. So it's a 12-point game, 72-70. There's still time for the Clippers to get back in this game. Morris with 18 points, 7 of 11 from the floor. But Clippers have to get stops. The Suns offensively have just been in a different groove. They get it to Devin Booker. Booker tonight has been in a different zone. Looking to get a shot up over Patrick Beverly. Isn't able to get it to fall. Rebounded by Morris. Clippers looking to run, but the Suns get back defensively. Look at Reggie Jackson. 3-point shot, Reggie Jackson, no good. It falls short. Mid-range jump shot, Chris Paul rims out. Rebounded by Ayton. Deflected by Morris. Deflected by George. But we get a foul. We look at the offensive rebound by Ayton, and he's poked in the eye by PG, trying to get the deflection. We look at Ayton right now. Ayton, 6 of 8 from the floor, 11 rebounds, only 12 points, but he's much more assertive overall compared to Game 5. Ayton looking to get a dribble handoff. It's disrupted by the Clippers. Great defense. DeMarcus Cousins is able to come away with the basketball. Paul George at the top of the key, guarded by Craig and Ayton. Gets it to Cousins. Cousins takes a 3. He misses it. Rebounded by Craig. Suns on the run. Devin Booker. Over to Craig. He takes 3, top of the key. He knocks it down. And that's just a 6-point swing right there. Cousins wide open at the 3. He misses it. Craig comes right back in the same position. At the top of the key, he makes his. So now it's a 15-point game, 85-70. Paul George draws a foul. He'll go to the free throw line for 2. We look at the efficiency from this Suns team. 54%. They're shooting 33 of 61 from the floor. From 3, 11 of 20 from 3. They are out-rebounding the Clippers 30-22. We look at the assist differential. It's 21-11. Suns up. Then we have to look at the turnovers. The Suns only have 5 turnovers. 5 turnovers. The Clippers have 6 turnovers. But the Suns have gotten 10 points off of 6 Clippers turnovers compared to 2 points for the Clippers on 5 Suns turnovers. So there's a difference there. And then the points in the paint differential, there's an 8-point differential for the Suns as they're up 34-26 in the paint. Paul George makes both free throws. It's a 13-point game. 4 minutes and 25 seconds to go here in the third quarter. Devin Booker trying to get into the paint. Takes the floater. He knocks it down. Booker is just, like I said, in a different zone tonight. He's 8 of 18 from the floor. He has 18 points. 7 of 17 from the floor with 16 points. Craig gets the steal, and he finds Mikal Bridges at the rim for another basket. Suns up 17 now, 89-72. Torrey Craig now with 3 points. He has 4 rebounds, 1 assist. That last assist goes to Bridges. Bridges with 9 points. And I want to correct myself. I had it right. Devin Booker does have 18 points. He's 8 of 18 from the floor, 1 of 4 from 3, 1 of 1 at the free throw line, has 4 rebounds and 4 assists. Suns up 17, 89-72. Stay tuned for more. Welcome back to a Game of Day by Zay, presented to you by the Ask Isaiah YouTube page. 3:43 to go here in the third. Suns have taken their largest lead of the series prior to that last Nicholas Batum basket at 17. It was the largest lead of the series. Nicholas Batum cuts it to 15. Cameron Payne misses a floater across the lane. Now the Clippers looking to get out and run. DeMarcus Cousins at the top of the key, directing, trick, looking to set up Paul George. George working at right baseline, guarded by Craig, one-on-one. Right to left crossover, Paul George at the rim. Foul no good, foul on the floor, but Paul George will go to the free throw line looking for two. George has to pick up his aggression here if the Clippers are going to look to have any chance at getting this series to 7. We look at Paul George, 13 points. He has 5 free throws, 5 of 6 from the free throw line, 7 rebounds. You see Kawhi Leonard on the bench. It's been announced that Leonard will not play the rest of this series, but if the Clippers are able to get to the finals, he's looking to return during the final series. This is Kawhi's 8th consecutive playoff game missed with a sprained knee. George makes the second free throw. So now it's a 13-point game. 89-76. Cameron Payne, dribble handoff to Abdul Nader. Over to Devin Booker. Booker looking to get in the paint. Draws the contact, no call. He misses the jump shot. Clippers on the run. Paul George kicks it to Nicholas Batum. He gets it to Morris. Top of the key, 3. Good. And now it's a 10-point game. 89-76. 2:42 to go. Clippers surging. They're on a 7-0 run over the last minute and 30 seconds. Cameron Payne at the top of the key, looking to move downhill. Gets it blocked by DeMarcus Cousins. See the block. Payne tried to get the layup on the right side of the rim. Cousins blocked it with his left hand. 8 on the shot clock. Good defense by Morris as Craig tried to flash in front of the rim off the inbound, but it's deflected by Morris. 6 seconds left on the shot clock. Booker, right sideline with the fadeaway. Rims out. Rebounded by Morris. Suns have to figure out how to stop this bleeding. Clippers on the run. Step back jump shot, Paul George. He misses it. Offensive rebound, Cousins. He can't get the layup. He thought he was fouled. Strong rebound by Ayton. Game getting a bit sloppy here. Cameron Payne trying to get it to Abdul Nader, and Payne falls out of bounds. So there's been a lot of contact on both sides. We look at this last missed shot by Paul George, and we see Cousins get the offensive rebound. Abdul Nader came across his body to block the layup, but there was definitely contact. Paul George in the paint. Kicks it to Morris. Open 3. Batum. Left corner 3 is good. And we got a 7-point game. 1:43 to go. The Clippers have forced the Suns to call a timeout. They were just down by 17. And now it's 89-82. Stay tuned for more as the Clippers are looking to force a game 7. Chris Paul out of that timeout gives the Suns a 10-point lead as he knocks down his third three-pointer of the game, a 3 that the Suns desperately needed to stop the bleeding. The Clippers were on a 10-0 run and cut the deficit to 7, but that big 3 from Chris gives the Suns a 10-point lead, and Paul George commits an offensive foul on Devin Booker. I think he hit him in his nose also. Remember, Devin Booker broke his nose earlier in this series. Yep. That right elbow went right across Devin Booker's nose. Devin already playing with a broken nose. He had a couple stitches earlier in the game. Earlier in the series. He played with a mask. going back to the game 2 incident between him and Patrick Beverly, and he's been going this game without the mask. And we look at this with his elbow and went straight through Devin Booker's nose. They called the offensive foul. They definitely called the offensive foul, but you have to worry about the anguish and pain Devin Booker's going through right now. He already broke his nose. We look at Devin telling his teammates he's all right. So Booker tonight still battling. Again, he's not going for that mask. So it shows you the level of toughness that he has. Um, Tonight, 18 points, 8 of 20 from the floor, trying to figure out how to finish out this game. Anytime you think about a closeout, it's always the toughest because the team that's down plays with so much desperation. They don't want to uh, go home. So you have to match that desperation, if not play with more to finish out the series. Devin Booker's played exceptionally well here in this playoffs, averaging 27 points per game. It's the third highest in a single postseason for a Phoenix Suns player. Chris Paul recently just knocked down a three, now attacking off the dribble with DeMarcus Cousins. We got to see what the stoppage and play is here. Okay, so let's look at this replay. Cousins actually gives up the layup, right? And then you can see we got a foul against Cousins as he's trying to clear out for the rebound. And we see Cousins raise his right elbow as he's clearing out the ball, as he's clearing the ball out of the rim. There's definitely contact with Cousins and Paul. Paul sells the contact with Cousins to make it look worse than it actually is. We look at the replay. Chris Paul gets the layup over Nicholas Batum to clear out the basket. You can see Cousins get the ball and Chris Paul fall to the ground. With 55 seconds to go here in the third quarter. We'll be back for more. This review is taking too long for me. We'll be back for more. This is a Game of Day by Zay presented to you by the Ask Isaiah YouTube page. They're reviewing to see if DeMarcus Cousins' foul against Chris Paul, which he tried to sell, is a flagrant foul and deemed for ejection. Stay tuned for more. Okay, so we're back. They assessed DeMarcus Cousins a technical foul. So Chris Paul will go to the free throw line to add to the Suns' 12-point lead, 94-82. Now, this is a valuable point considering the fact that the Clippers had gone on a 10-0 run in their own right to cut the deficit from 17 to 7. But now, which Chris Paul missed that free throw, that would have given the Suns a 13-point lead and given the Suns a 6-0 run in response to the Clippers' 10-0 run. With 55 seconds left to go here in the third quarter, can the Clippers inch closer? They came into this third quarter trailing by 7. No, pardon me. They came into the third quarter trailing by 9. They came into the third quarter trailing by 9. and the Clippers have outscored. The Suns have outscored them by 3 here in this quarter. But it was much worse than that. The Clippers are trying to respond. 38 seconds left to go. Morris working the baseline, gets the reverse, can't finish. Deflected out of bounds by DeAndre Ayton. 33 seconds left to go in the quarter. 14 on the shot clock. Clippers possession. You look at the replay. Cousins is fighting for the ball. It goes off of Cousins, but we got to remember the Suns lost their challenge, so there's nothing that you can do to challenge there. Nevertheless, Paul George misses a mid-range jump shot from the left corner. So Suns get the rebound with possession up 12. There's a 7-second differential between shot clock and game clock. Chris Paul, guarded by Nicholas Batum. 4 on the shot clock. He takes the 3, makes the 3. Big 3 from Chris Paul, giving the Suns a 15-point lead. At the buzzer, Morris, left corner 3, he shoots it off the top of the backboard. So the Suns still have a second and a half. So we got a technical foul against DeAndre Ayton. Chris Paul in response, looking to push this Clippers team out of here. Suns up 15 going into the fourth. Technical foul on Ayton, so Paul George goes to the free throw line. He makes the free throw. So now it's a 14-point game. Second and a half to go here in the third quarter. Devin Booker at the buzzer, heaves it. It goes over the top of the backboard. But we go into the fourth. The Suns are 12 minutes away from finishing off this Clippers team. Devin Booker, 18 points through 3 quarters. Chris Paul, 21 points through 3 quarters. We'll be back with more. This is the Game of Day by Zay, presented to you by the Ask Isaiah YouTube page. Suns up over the Clippers, 97-83. Welcome back to a Game of Day by Zay, presented to you by the Ask Isaiah YouTube page. 12 minutes away for the Suns to get to the NBA Finals. Can the Clippers get stops? We will see. Jay Crowder misses a 3 from the right wing. Offensive rebound Suns. They're able to get a layup. Prior to that Jay Crowder 3, we saw Devin Booker 3. He missed that 3. The Suns were able to get another rebound. So the offensive glass working to the Suns' favor to start this fourth quarter. DeMarcus Cousins gets an and 1. So he'll go to the free throw line looking to cut this deficit to 13. Cousins provided great energy. Ayton tonight, 14 points, 7 of 9 from the floor, 14 rebounds. Now, he only has 4 more points than he did in Game 5, but on the glass, he's just much more assertive. His presence is felt way more in this game than it was in Game 5. Cousins doesn't complete the N1, so it's a 14-point game. Chris Paul at the rim. Layup is good. Moving downhill, Chris Paul looking to close out his former team, the team he played with from 2011 to 2018. Well, 2017, excuse me. So 6 years here with these Clippers. A lot of heartbreak. It's ironic this would be the team he defeats to actually go to the NBA Finals. Let's see if they're able to finish. 10:30 to go. Clippers missed an opportunity at the rim. Chris Paul, mid-range jump shot, right corner, good. It's up to 18 now. This is the largest lead for the Clippers. Chris Paul, 26 points, 6 assists, 11 of 17 from the floor. It's Chris Paul. Corner 3 from Nicholas Batum. He can't knock it down. Chased down by Paul George. 10 on the shot clock. Reggie Jackson. Thought about a mid-range jump shot. He attacks for the layup. Can't finish. Fighting for the rebound. Devin Booker comes away with it. Booker slows down. He resets. Thinks better of it. Goes to the veteran, Chris Paul. This is why they brought in Chris Paul, to set up offense, execute, and get the right shot when it matters most. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Mid-range jump shot. Chris Paul puts the Suns up 20. 9:39 to go. Tyronn Lue calls timeout. The Suns look to be on their way. Stay tuned for more. This is the Game of the Day by Zay, presented to you by the Ask Isaiah YouTube page. Welcome back to a Game of the Day by Zay, presented to you by the Ask Isaiah YouTube page. This is the Western Conference Finals. Suns up 105-85. They lead the series 3-2, looking to close out this Clippers team down 20. Do they have another run in them? A 3 from Marcus Morris cuts the lead to 17. Suns go back to Chris Paul. Paul. Mid-range jump shot. He misses it short. Offensive rebound, Craig. Craig goes to Crowder. Crowder misses the 3. Rebounded by Nicholas Batum. Crowder thought he was fouled there. No call. Reggie Jackson over to Morris. Morris attacking. At the rim, can't get the layup to fall, but he was fouled. So Morris not laying down. 8:33 to go. It's still a mountain of time left, but the Clippers have to get stops. That's what helped them cut a 17-point deficit to 7 in the third quarter. Can they do this again, but this time finish the deal? Well, look at Morris tonight, playing out of his mind once again. 24 points, 9 of 15 from the floor, 4 of 9 from 3. Free throw from Morris. Good. You can see his brother in the game, Markieff Morris. Markieff actually won a championship with the Los Angeles Lakers going back last year in the bubble. So now that the Lakers were knocked out by this Suns team, his brother Marcus and the Clippers have an opportunity to knock out the Suns. It's going to be a tall task, though. They're down 15 with 8:30 to go. Morris makes both free throws. It's 105-90. Chris Paul guarded by Terrence Mann. They're going to get a dribble handoff to Devin Booker. Booker with the floater. Knocks it down over Mann. Good off the ball movement there from Devin Booker to get the ball moving downhill. One leg fade going right. Got the floater to fall. Crossover from Paul George on Chris Paul. Once again, going back to Game 5, there was a magnificent crossover in the third quarter for Paul George on Chris Paul. Had him falling. In this one, Paul George had Chris Paul slipping, able to knock down the jumper, but the Clippers down 15. Chris Paul trying to come right back, gets a step back 3, and he knocks his down over Reggie Jackson. So good competitive response from Chris Paul, and he puts the Suns up 18. We look at Chris, in and out dribble on Reggie, gets the pull back, step back, pulls up the 3, pulls up 4-3, knocks it down. Good separation there from Paul onto against Reggie Jackson. He completes the 4-point play. Suns up 19 with 7:41 to go. Chris Paul tonight, a magnificent game. His best game of the playoffs, in my opinion. Not points-wise, but more so all-around game. 32 points, 13 of 20 from the floor. Terrence Mann almost stole it from Chris Paul in the backcourt. Paul able to get it to Ayton, and we got an 8-second violation. So good defense there from Terrence Mann. Good defense there from Terrence Mann to make that difficult. Make that So now 7:19 to go. Again, Clippers down 19. They have to get stops. They got to pick up their offense. Paul George has to be aggressive. But again, it's still time. The three-point line has always been a great equalizer, depending on where you are. This Clippers team has come back from deficits all playoffs. Can they get it going? Paul George misses a three. Clippers just haven't gotten Paul George in a position to get things going tonight. Patrick Beverly guarded Chris Paul. Paul going to Aiden. Aiden with the floater, able to get it to fall. He caught that ball way out of his range, but he was able to dribble it straight down the lane and get a floater to fall, avoiding the offensive foul. 113-92. Patrick Beverly looking to set up Terrence Mann. There's a deflection. Aiden tried to save it, but it'll stay with the Clippers. As we look at Aiden get the floater up over Reggie Jackson, again avoiding that charge. Reggie Jackson stepped up to take the charge, but Aiden able to get his 16th point. 16 points along with 17 rebounds. Morris for three, rims out. Rebounded by Chris Paul. Chris Paul, 32 points, 8 assists. Looking for 34. He knocks it down. He gets the floater to fall. He's going for the kill shot now. 115-92. Reggie Jackson over to Morris. Morris for three. Back rims it. Rebounded by Jay Crowder. And he gets it to Chris Paul. Halfway through this fourth quarter now. 8-0 run over the last 2 minutes. Chris in control. Gets the switch with Morris on him. Pulls up for three. Knocks it down. Chris Paul now with 37 points. 5:49 to go. And it looks like this will do it. 5:49 to go. The Suns are just trying to put the Clippers out of their misery now. Chris Paul with the stare down. Straight away. Top of the key three. All good. We'll be back with more. This is the Game of Day by Zay, presented to you by the Ask Isaiah YouTube page. Welcome back to a Game of Day by Zay, presented to you by the Ask Isaiah YouTube page. And as we went to break, there was a dust up between Patrick Beverly and Chris Paul, and Patrick Beverly pushes Chris Paul to the ground as both teams go into their respective benches. I don't know what Chris said to Pat, if he actually said anything, but you can see Beverly push Chris to the ground. Chris didn't respond, so Beverly ejected. He goes to the back. So Suns up 119-92. 3-point shot from Paul George. George knocks in the three. It's 119-95. 5:33 to go. There's still time left, but the Suns are in complete control. They're poised. They're getting every shot they want. And from this point, they're just looking to get the right shot and utilize clock. They get a mid-range jump shot from Devin Booker. Luke Kennard takes the three. He knocks it down. So it's 121-98. Devin Booker tonight off that previous basket, 10 of 24 from the floor, 22 points. Booker, high screen and roll with Aiden. Another mid-range jump shot, falls short. Fighting for the rebound, Paul George comes away with it. Suns up by 23. Paul George step back three, no good. Another rebound for Chris Paul. Chris Paul made the technical free throw that was assessed to Patrick Beverly once he got ejected. CP, mid-range jump shot, falls short. Rebounded by Morris. We look at Terrence Mann get a basket at the rim, so it's a 21-point game now. Chris Paul tonight, 15 of 22 from the floor, 6 of 7 from the floor, 38 points. So he's on his way to a 40 in a closeout game in the Western Conference Finals when it matters the most. Devin Booker, what a pass to Torrey Craig. Craig not quite ready for the pass. It's a turnover, but Chris Paul comes back and steals the pass from Reggie Jackson intended for Terrence Mann. Devin Booker gets it to Craig. Craig, mid-range jump shot. Rims out, gets it to Chris Paul. Gets it to Paul George. Paul George gets the rebound, excuse me. Reggie Jackson kicks it to Luke Kennard. Three-point shot for Kennard falls short. Another rebound for Devin Booker. So we're approaching 3 minutes to play. Devin Booker is on his way to his first NBA Finals in his first playoff appearance in his career. He went his entire career without making the playoffs. This Suns team brings in Chris Paul in the offseason. That, along with the seasoning from last year, which this Suns team went to the bubble looking to fight their way into the playoffs. They went 8-0 in the 8 games that they played, but they fell short due to tiebreakers and things of that nature. Nevertheless, though, they used that 8-0 record in the bubble as momentum to propel them into what we've seen this season. We look at Torian Craig on an offensive rebound. He draws a foul with 2:58 to play. You see Devin Booker put the mask back on. That foul's on Paul George. So Paul George will be going to the bench. He definitely stepped up throughout this playoffs. He didn't have the best game tonight. And it's unfortunate because he's been tasked with playing the most minutes of any player during this playoff run in the entire playoffs. He definitely put it on the line for this Clippers team, especially with Kawhi Leonard out over the last 8 games. On the road down 3-1, he had 41 points, a playoff career high, but they weren't able to get the win here at home and finish out or extend the season to Game 7. 2:50 to go, down 21. Devin Booker looking to over dribble. It's stolen, but Chris Paul comes back on the back end, gets the steal with 2:40 to go. Suns up 121-100. Chris Paul tonight with 38 points. CP at the top of the key, 2 points away from 40. Paul for 3, knocks it down. 41 points. Three-point shot, Luke Kennard. Doesn't matter. He misses it, though. Suns up 24. Chris Paul, 41 points, 8 assists. The Suns Chris Paul gets a technical foul. 2 minutes to play. He was chirping with the bench on the way down the court. Got called for the technical foul. This game has been chippy, especially with the ejection of Pat Beverly. You've gotten a number of flagrant fouls in this series. So you got to remember, with a playoff series of this magnitude, knowing the circumstances, knowing the history of Chris Paul and this franchise, although the personnel is not the same, you think about the trauma of losing some of the tough series that he lost during Lob City, the Lob City era with Blake Griffin and DeAndre Ayton. To have this moment on this Clippers floor with this Suns team who's been, as I mentioned, during the Devin Booker era, hasn't been able to get to the playoffs at all until this season. To have the second best record in the NBA, to have an opportunity to battle against the defending champions in the first round, to beat them in 6 games in dominant fashion, to then go up against the MVP and Nikola Jokic and the Denver Nuggets, although Jamal Murray was out, to win that series in a sweep, and then have this series right here against your former teammate, Chris Paul. This is a gratifying moment, a moment that won't be lost on historians of the game and fans of the game, because they know the presence that Chris Paul has had on his team and the great career that he's had his entire career. To be an 11-time All-Star, to be a 10-time All-NBA, a 9-time All-Defensive Player, to be able to say you led the league in steals multiple times, to be considered the point guard of your generation, to be the ultimate leader, and to put your team, despite some games where you didn't shoot your best and had the young guys carrying you, to be in this position to go to your first NBA Finals and close out your former team with 41 points on the road. It's just it's a magnificent feeling. It's a magnificent feeling. And then you look at this Clippers team, knowing all of the hoopla and all of the attention that they got going into uh, 2 summers ago when Kawhi Leonard and Paul George came over to this Clippers team. For them to lose in the fashion that they did last year in the second round, to blow a 3-1 lead to the Denver Nuggets, when many people assumed it would be a Lakers Clippers Western Conference Finals on the way to the finals. To see them lose in that fashion, then the Lakers win their championship. To come into this year much more motivated. You change coaches. Doc Rivers goes to Philly. Ty Lue steps up as from assistant to head coach to get this particular team to their first Western Conference Finals in their franchise's history. To go up against Chris Paul and have an opportunity to close out this team that you were favored to beat and lose in this fashion, it has to be heartbreaking. Has to be heartbreaking. It's 130 to 102. You have 35 35 seconds left, and you see this embrace between Chris Paul and Monty Williams. Both go back to their time with the Thunder organization under different tenures now. When Chris Paul was with the Thunder, he was actually, well, not with the Thunder, but the Oklahoma City Hornets. The Hornets actually had to go to Oklahoma City for Hurricane Katrina before they relocated back to New Orleans. Monty was there in that space. Then you could think about Monty Williams in his time in New Orleans. He went to New Orleans, coached the Pelicans, went through trying to build that team, got them to the playoffs. He was fired with the Pelicans, comes back here, comes to the Suns after overcoming some extreme hardship in his family, and to have this moment for him is amazing, man. This Suns team continues to exceed all expectations. Right now, they're playing with house money. They're going to the finals again. They're waiting for their opponent. They continue to dominate and get past all uh, all opposition. They win this game tonight, 130 to 103. Suns defeat the Clippers in 6 games. Chris Paul tonight, 16 of 24 from the floor, 7 of 8 from three, 2 of 3 from the free throw line, 8 assists, no turnovers. I mean, this is the epitome of a perfect game. He, along with Devin Booker, have led this team to the heights that we see today. Devin Booker, 10 of 26 from the floor, a bad shooting night. He didn't really finish the series shooting to the level that we're used to seeing from him, but 22 points for him. He came out, was very aggressive in that first half, especially. And once the Suns built this lead, they just got key contributions all the way around. Jay Crowder tonight, an exceptional game despite the foul trouble. 6 of 11 from the floor, 5 of 9 from 3, 19 points. Mikal Bridges, 9 points. He knocked down 4 of 6 field goals. DeAndre Ayton, much more aggressive early. He was 8 of 10 from the floor with 16 points, but he had 17 rebounds. In stark contrast to what we saw from the Clippers, Marcus Morris had an exceptional game, 9 of 17 from the floor, 26 points, but outside of him, Clippers didn't get much offense. Paul George ended with 21 points, but he was not aggressive tonight. 6 of 15 from the floor, 8 of 9 from the free throws, 9 rebounds, only 2 assists. Just not aggressive, not really in attack mode. Patrick Beverly, 11 points. He was ejected after pushing Chris Paul to the ground as both teams went back to their respective benches. Not the way you want to go out if you're Patrick Beverly. Reggie Jackson, despite having a bad game tonight, 4 of 12, he definitely lined himself up to get paid this offseason. He averaged 18 points for the playoffs. He had a tough game tonight, but he definitely lined himself up for a big payday as he came up huge for this Clippers team, who had to overcome their own sense of adversity too, losing the likes of Kawhi Leonard, all-world player, all-NBA player, all-star player for the last 8 games due to a sprained knee. It definitely changed the rotations for them. It forced players to step up in roles that they might not have been used to. under pressure, but this Clippers team tried. They fell short at home, game 6, and now the Suns will be going to the finals for the third time in franchise history. They still haven't won. You can go back to 1976, where the Celtics beat the Suns, and then you can go back to 1993, where the Bulls beat the Suns. This particular Suns team will be going up against the Milwaukee Bucks or the Atlanta Hawks. Now that series between the Hawks and the Bucks are tied at 2, but both teams are dealing with injuries to their respective stars as uh, Trey Young is dealing with the sprained right ankle, and Giannis Antetokounmpo is suffering from a right knee uh, hyperextension. So there's no word when Giannis Antetokounmpo will return, although there's no ligament damage or structural damage to his knee. So that's the good news. Uh, Trey Young is questionable in his return, but I say all that to say that this particular series still going on allows for the Suns to get their rest, give their players time to recover, and they'll be ready knowing that they will have home court the rest of the playoffs. They are the highest seed still left in the playoffs, and to go on the road and defeat the Clippers in the fashion that they did showed you the mettle of this team, showed you the veteran leadership of Chris Paul, Jay Crowder, and others, but also how hungry the young core is, and Booker, and Ayton, and Payne, and Bridges. There's so many young players to complement the veterans on this team, and they're definitely led by one of the best coaches in the game, and Monty Williams. So we'll be back with more to cover the NBA playoffs as the Phoenix Suns punch their ticket to the NBA Finals. This is the Game of Day by Zay presented to you by the Ask Isaiah YouTube page. You just finished listening to the Phoenix Suns defeat the Clippers 130 to 103. Thanks for watching. Peace.